Slamdown is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam and WWE Smack Talks. Welcome to Slamdown Livestream. We're going to be covering everything FastLane. Now, for me, FastLane wasn't bad, but FastLane also wasn't good. It's the best way I could put it. It's probably been the better Raw pay-per-view than previous. There was a few twists and turns that were surprising, that I liked, but there's quite a lot that I didn't like. And there's even parts that just don't make any sense. I saw a comment on a group where someone said that WWE and WWE Raw is like the dying days of WCW, and I'm sort of starting to agree with that. With the bad booking, just the appalling way things are done. It's sad to see, because you look at a product like SmackDown that is doing tremendously. You know, the talents be performing top notch, the storylines, the angles are brilliant. You look at Raw and you're a bit like, yeah. I do think the WWE too much reliant on part-timers. I don't mind them like bringing Goldberg back and Brock Lesnar being there, but I think they should be full-timers. I don't believe in hiring a part-timer. I just don't think it works. That's just my personal opinion on it. Just not a lover of it. We saw the kickoff match with Rich Swann and that other lad that I'm not going to pronounce his name because, like I said in the prediction show, I can't pronounce the name, against Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. I predicted this sort of correctly. I thought it was going to be Rich Swann. I can't remember what I predicted. I wasn't really interested in that match, but it weren't great, but it weren't bad. It was average at best. Like the cruiserweights always have been. 2 out of 5 stars. That's me being nice. Samoa Joe taking on Sami Zayn. We knew this was just going to be a squash match. The way they're building up Samoa Joe, I'm a bit annoyed that they squashed Sami Zayn down a bit, because I'd have liked to see Sami Zayn go for the US title. I think, it feels like they don't know what to do with him, and I do feel that Sami Zayn would probably be better on SmackDown. But it was alright. 3 out of 5. We saw Luke Gallows against Carl Anderson taking on Enzo Amore and Big Kaz. I predicted that we were going to see a twist. We were going to see Big Kaz turn on Enzo Amore. Nope, it didn't happen. Surprised, to be honest. I thought something was going to happen. I thought they were building it in the right way. Especially with Kaz's behaviour on previous shows, but Obviously, I was wrong on that, but I was right about who wins it. You know, I knew it was going to be Luke and Carl Anderson. After that, we saw Sasha Banks defeating Nia Jax. I've seen a lot of reports saying that Sasha Banks was meant to grab the ropes as she pinned Nia Jax to get the victory, but for some reason that didn't happen. Because they have been teasing that Sasha Banks is going to make a heel turn. If that's true, if Sasha Banks is making a heel turn, I reckon WrestleMania will be Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the women's title. But then where do you put Charlotte? After that, we saw this weird thing where they were splitting up Rusev and Jinder Mahal, and they both had singles match, but they attacked each other and Jinder Mahal threw Rusev over, which I was quite surprised with, especially with how well Rusev has been used in the past. You know, he was pushed right up, and then now it seems like he's suddenly being dropped down the pecking order. I do not know if that's creative deciding that or who's made the decision. I was a big fan of Rusev. I thought he was a very dominant wrestler, but now it seems like they're just putting him to the wayside. You know, they had Roman Reigns take the title off him, and now he's just fallen down. He's one of those guys I would actually like to see go for the top title. I'd rather him go over than Roman Reigns. So, you know. So we had Cesaro came out to take on Jinder Mahal, and it looks like Jinder Mahal was being the Indian Hulk Hogan, the way he's just boomf. Absolutely just beefed up massively all of a sudden, and it's like, right, how can you beef up that quick? But I'm not going to get into that. So we knew Cesaro was going to get the victory in this match, so after that, Rusev was in the ring. Big Show came out. Now, I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. Are they going to let Big Show take a loss to push up Rusev? No. They let Rusev lose to Big Show. Which I can't work out what the purpose is, because we don't know what's happening for WrestleMania. We haven't heard who Big Show or Rusev are facing. It feels like they don't really know what to do with much of their talent on Raw. Yeah, there's not much I can really say on that. It's just, both matches were probably 1.5 star at best. After that, we saw Neville taking on Gentleman Jack Gallagher. I was hoping the Gentleman Jack Gallagher was going to get the victory on this. It was an amazing match. There were some awesome moments in it. I was really impressed with both superstars. It made me feel like this is what the Cruiserweight should be about. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. After that, we had Roman Reigns taking on Braun Strowman, and you build Braun Strowman up not to lose one match. You're pushing him up here. He has an amazing match with Big Show, and he loses to Roman Reigns. Right. Okay. So you put all that work in building Braun Strowman up, but to knock him to the wayside to make Roman Reigns look good. I'd love to know what goes through Vince McMahon's mind. Because me personally, I would have loved to see Braun Strowman get the victory and build up to Braun Strowman either going at Undertaker. I know there's people that's going to disagree with this. And then maybe after WrestleMania, see Braun Strowman go up against Brock Lesnar. Because they could have a really good match. I really do reckon so. Because Brock Lesnar could really pound on Strowman, and Strowman could get back with his speed. I just believe it would make a good match in my eyes. 2 out of 5. It was nothing special. Bayley taking on Charlotte Flair. Now, I predicted that Charlotte Flair was going to win this due to the one and only fact of her not losing a pay-per-view. I thought that she would lose her pay-per-view record at WrestleMania. Not FastLane. Didn't make much sense. You want it to be really impactful for her to lose her pay-per-view wins, then you leave it to something like WrestleMania. I don't get it. And after that, we saw Goldberg beat Kevin Owens in 21 seconds because of the distraction by Chris Jericho. We saw Kevin Owens play the distraction, kept getting in and out of the ring, trying to frustrate Goldberg. As soon as he gets in the ring, goes, come on, and the referee rings the bell, bam. Chris Jericho music hits. Kevin Owens looks at Chris Jericho while the bell rings, turns, spear, jackhammer, done. Now, a lot of people have been bitching and moaning about this. Well, think about it this way. Kevin Owens won the title because of Triple H. Chris Jericho has helped him keep that title. Now Chris Jericho has suddenly turned up and made him lose that title. Building to the heat, WrestleMania, Chris Jericho taking on KO. That is one thing that's happening. You know, if we look at this, I'm going to go with what I think WrestleMania could be. Where I believe that it's going to be Bray Wyatt taking on Randy Orton. I think it's going to be Goldberg, Brock Lesnar for the title. That's a given. Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens. AJ Styles, I reckon he's going to be taking on Shane because I reckon he's not going to be happy with the decision. And especially with what happened last WrestleMania with Shane Undertaker. I think they could probably do that again. I can see Undertaker taking on, I'm going to hate to say it, Roman Reigns, John Cena and Nikki Bella taking on The Miz and Maurice. Probably a ladder match for the Cruiserweight title. I don't reckon there's going to be much tag team action. I don't know what they're going to do there. But I reckon that's sort of the WrestleMania we're looking at. It could be a good WrestleMania. But there's a lot of matches to have on the card. Especially when you've got Raw and SmackDown. So to try and split it up is going to be a bit of a nightmare. I think there's going to be a lot of matches on the pre-show as well. We're just going to have to wait to see. You know, when she beat Nia Jax, I do believe she should have grabbed the rope because then it wouldn't have hurt Nia Jax. There's just so many really, really poor booking on this and really poor outcomes. You know, I would have given Jack Gallagher the nod over Neville to build up Jack Gallagher. You know, he's had amazing matches. Rusev, you knock him down by Big Show. Why? It's, yeah. Poorly booked card, poorly done, but it's not the worst. It really isn't. I've seen a lot worse. And we've all seen a lot worse. But I think that's it for Fastlane. Tomorrow I will be doing the Raw review with everything what goes on at Raw. And then on Wednesday, there's going to be a bit of alteration on the time I go on. But Wednesday I will be doing the SmackDown review. But yeah, that's all I want to really say about Fastlane. It's a 3. No, it's been nice. It's a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It weren't great, but it weren't. It was bad, but it weren't bad. So I can't really give it a 1.5. So I have to go 2.5. It's you know, it worries me because if you know what I've seen, what's happening over at Impact Wrestling, it looks like they're getting ready to be as good as they used to be and probably chasing the WWE again. But maybe the Raw might start being better because they worry about Impact Wrestling getting back on the footing that it used to be on. Oh, I don't know. But it's a good time to be a wrestling fan if you like SmackDown and if you like Impact Wrestling. But if you like Raw, please tell me why and please tell me how. Do you enjoy part-timers? It's, yeah. Well, on that depressing note, this has been your host, Ashley Friend, and I will see you again tomorrow with Raw Review at 9 p.m. GMT.